Self-help TV presents 10 ways to hack your body fast. As most of us have learned, the human body is a marvel. In comparison to other life forms on Earth, many of its abilities appear magical, and even if extraordinary abilities do exist in nature, they're usually developed as specialized responses to their immediate environments rather than as part of an all-purpose package capable of facing any challenge the environment throws at it. Our bodies are confined in a multitude of ways, one of which is our inability to fly, despite all of its marvels. While there isn't much we can do about it, there are plenty of other ways to compel the body to do things you never thought possible, the majority of which entail taking advantage of the brain's myriad defects. This isn't about old wives' tales or folklore. Each of these methods has been scientifically proven. Number 1. Reducing the amount of time you spend sleeping. Many people believe that sleeping is a blissful experience with no negative consequences. Sleep is beneficial because it allows the body to recoup and replenish itself in preparation for the next day's activities, especially after a long day. However, it's a waste of time when you consider that REM sleep is when the body actually executes its activities during the sleep cycle. Some argue that the rest of the sleep cycle should be eliminated entirely to make better use of the time it consumes, if only we knew how. We do, it turns out, and all we have to do is sleep for a few hours throughout the day. 6 equidistant 20-minute naps spaced 4 hours apart make up the Uberman sleep regimen. While it may seem silly and time-consuming at first, your body is supposed to learn how to enter REM sleep throughout all of those naps after being trained for a suitable amount of time. It will take some getting used to, but if you stick with it, you may be able to use the remainder of your sleep time as you choose. It may even enhance your overall productivity, according to various studies. Number 2. Listening to music while recovering from surgery may help you manage with discomfort. Although we can all agree that putting on our headphones and listening to our favorite song can be soothing at times, not everyone appreciates music as much as your metalhead cousin. Even if not everyone appreciates movies or books, music is one of the few universally adored art forms, as each country has its own unique musical traditions. Furthermore, music has been demonstrated to provide a variety of health benefits. Listening to music you appreciate can help you feel better before, during, and after surgery, according to a study. Scientists have discovered that listening to music of your choice leads the brain to release chemicals and hormones that enhance the immune system, and that staying connected during surgery may reduce the amount of painkillers required. It should, however, be music that you choose, as it did not go well when surgeons made playlists for their patients. Number 3. Cough during injections to reduce pain. Many of us, no matter how old we are still scared of needles, just as we were the first time we went to the doctor. The psychological impact of a needle entering the skin is important, even if the shots aren't as painful as we expect. Fortunately, coughing is a simple and effective way to relieve discomfort. According to many studies, coughing right before an injection boosts blood pressure, which helps reduce pain perception and so makes the shot less painful. Distractions of any kind can help to make an injection less painful. Coughing, on the other hand, appears to be more effective than turning and gazing away from the injection, possibly because it acts as both a distraction and a blood pressure booster. Number 4. Examine disease pictures to boost your immune system strength. You know how complicated the immune system is if you've ever had to combat a serious sickness. It's also one of the reasons we've managed to overcome all of history's obstacles. Are you familiar with the Black Death? In reaction to the frequent entrance of new, unknown illnesses, the immune system adapts and strengthens itself rather than giving up. Which feature is your favorite? It doesn't even require you to be infected with anything to trigger it. Our immune system reacts just by looking at photos of a disease. Simply showing people photographs of sneezing and other disease symptoms, according to a University of British Columbia researcher, induces white blood cells to release interleukin-6, a protein produced in reaction to infections. When white blood cells in the patient's blood were exposed to pathogens, they reacted far more powerfully. Number 5. Raise your eyebrows to stimulate creative thought. Aside from its decorative significance, the purpose of the eyebrow is unknown. Unlike other facial features, they are appealing. While some argue that eyebrows help us communicate our emotions in social situations by giving us a wider range of expressions, it's also possible that you don't require them. However, scientific evidence suggests that the eyebrows may serve a purpose other than cosmetic. Raising your brows boosts creativity, according to University of Maryland researchers, by broadening your visual view and allowing you to explore more solutions to a problem than you would otherwise be able to contemplate. On the other hand, narrowing things down has the opposite effect on creativity. Raise your eyebrows as high as you can the next time you're working on a creative project, no matter how ludicrous it seems. Number 6. It's easier to remember things while you're in pain. Except for a select people whose motivations we'll never understand, no one enjoys suffering. It's our body's way of notifying us that something is badly wrong and that things will only become worse if we don't act quickly. Pain, whether it comes from illnesses, bruises, or headaches, is an inherent component of living a balanced, healthy life, no matter how unpleasant it is. You should experiment with producing pain on your own, despite the agony, if you want to increase your memory and recall knowledge for extended periods of time. People who were given trial photographs while in pain remembered them better, but only after a long length of time had passed, in this example, a year, as discovered at Hamburg's University Medical Center. It wasn't just a one-time benefit, the ramifications were long-term. Number 7. Learn how to make the most of your body's natural night vision. The human eye, which can perceive a wide variety of colors and has remarkable depth perception, has a vast range of talents that few other species' eyes have. Another wonderful eye function that most of us are unaware of is the capacity to see in the dark. Unless it's completely dark, the human eye's ability to discern objects in a dark environment using even the smallest source of light is fairly good, although acclimating to the darkness takes a long time. Here's a tip to get you started if you don't have an hour to do whatever it is you walked out into the dark to do. Put on an eye patch for around 25 minutes before switching to the other eye if you're going somewhere dark. Eye patches were used by pirates for the same reason, not as a bizarre fashion statement. That's not some made-up cool thing you heard at a party to boast about. Mythbusters verified. Number 8. Dreaming when you wake up. We don't know enough about dreams to tell if they're the brain's way of letting off steam when we sleep or something else entirely. We've all fantasized and pondered, what if I could manage this? Whatever the situation may be. Lucid dreamers are aware that they are dreaming, and while many can influence their dreams to some degree, only a few can do so on command. If you know what you're doing, you can teach yourself to lucid dream whenever you want. Many studies have been done on the best methods for doing so, including observing your surroundings throughout your waking hours to see if they are real or dreams. If you do it enough times, you'll remember to do it while you're dreaming, and you'll switch to lucid dreaming as soon as you realize it's a dream. Set an alarm for 5 or 6 hours after you go to bed, and when it goes off, stay awake for a few minutes before falling back asleep. This causes REM sleep, which increases the likelihood of having lucid dreams. Number 9. You have complete control over your pupil at all times. As previously said, the human eye is highly sophisticated and contains numerous subtle elements that you may never notice. The pupil, a little black circle in the middle of the iris, is one of them. The pupil shrinks and expands in reaction to the amount and type of light entering the eye, but it's mostly an instinctive system over which we have no control, even if it would be quite nice to be able to alter it at will, as our pupils have a big influence on our social interactions. That is, until researchers at the University of Oslo did an experiment and discovered that controlling the size of your pupils is quite simple. All you have to do is think about the amount of light entering your eye. The individuals were first exposed to various levels of light and their pupil sizes were measured. They shrank and grew as one might expect. Then they were instructed to envision the light sources that had been shown to them previously. The pupils reacted in the same way as before, surprising the researchers, implying that the brain processes that govern the pupils work in the same way for fictional and actual visual stimuli. 10. Turn off your laughing reflex. The gag response is present in virtually everyone, with the exception of a few people who are born without. The degree of the gag reflex varies from person to person. It's the body's way of ensuring that we don't choke on our food, and that we transition from a liquid to a solid diet effortlessly when we're babies. Of course, it can be irritating, particularly for those who have gagged while eating and, yes, those who are conducting oral sex on a partner. Thankfully, science has discovered a way to turn it off, or at the very least reduce its intensity. Researchers discovered that applying pressure to the palm of the hand reduces the intensity of the gag reflex and may even turn it off for some people. According to a study published in the Journal of the American Dental Association, the gag reflex often stymies dental treatments. Simply place your thumb inside your fist and squeeze as hard as you can. What body hack have you experienced? What's your thought? Write your comment below. Click the like button and don't forget to subscribe. Thank you for watching. See you in the next episode.